Hey guys, and welcome to another video. In today's video, we're gonna unbox this kit guitar that I have right here. I was actually not going to make this video, but I hurt my hand a little bit, so I had to not do anything creative for a couple of days, a week or two, maybe even. And so I was thinking I'd give you a close-up of this and we will just take a look at it and see what is happening. Sort of before I do anything. Yeah, and I'll tell you a little bit of what my plans are. But I was thinking it could be good because I'll show you how I judge if this kit is good or bad, which is maybe something that you don't get to see that many times when someone is doing a video on a kit. So it will be a sort of unboxing my first impression of the kit. So I've already cut the tape, and now we're gonna take a look. I want to say I got this second hand from an awesome guy. And so if something isn't completely up to snuff, a screw or something is missing, that's not a big deal for me because I have enough extra parts to replace anything. But also it won't be, a question of the store. This is important from the UK, and obviously it's become really hard to import things from the UK because of Brexit. So if you're thinking about getting this kit, have that in mind. I did not have to pay for that, obviously, because I got it secondhand. But yeah, the kit can be more expensive because of those sorts of things. But you can look and try to get kits from somewhere closer to you, and you can do the sort of things that I'm going to check for. You can check on those kits and see if they make any sense. So even if you can't get this kit, the things I'll show you will hopefully be something you can do something with. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, this kit is from DIYguitarshop.co.uk, and they come with some instructions that I have right here, and we're gonna put those to the side, and I'm gonna just go through this kit a little bit. And here we have all the electronical components, and I'm not really gonna focus on them that much because I'm pretty sure all kits come from China, and all the parts that you get with them are basically the same. So for example, here I have the bridge. It looks like a generic sort of, beginner guitar sort of bridge and tailpiece and those sort of things. Here we have the standard sort of generic tuners, and we'll take a closer look at those parts when we put the guitar together. Just because these tuners are, generic sort of beginner tuners, it doesn't mean that they have to be bad. But if there's anything wrong with them, we won't really notice that until we put the guitar together. The same thing with, like, for example, here we have the plastic parts, the pick guard, and the control cavity plate, and they most likely will fit the guitar. But if they're good or bad is, it's just plastic. So it doesn't really matter, and we can change them out pretty easily. The kit comes with an Allen wrench and a guitar cable. I'll take those out because they're not going to be relevant. The guitar kit comes with generic strings, and I like to keep those because I like to use them as a setup thing for when I check the height of the strings and make sure the bridge works and make sure everything is aligned. I can later put on strings that I want to have on the guitar when I'm actually playing it, but that's, when the guitar is done, finished, and I want to intonate the guitar. But for, standard things, build-wise, keep those strings for now, because you might as well waste them on the build and not buy the nice, expensive strings you actually want to use. You can do that later. But yeah, so let's take a look at the body and the neck, because those are the things that actually matters when it comes to kit guitar. So here we have the body, and it's in this plastic cover, which we're going to put it back in. But here we have the body for you to take a look at. There it is. And here's the back. And feeling it, it's a little bit rough. I can see a lot of sand marks in it, and I can feel that it's very rough. So this needs to be sanded. This is probably sanded to maybe what could this marks be? They could be somewhere around 200, which obviously depending on what you're going to do, if you're going to cover this in a bunch of primers and do a solid color, you know, a completely black guitar for example, I would say that maybe then you could do that and do the final sanding on the rest. But if you're going to do a natural showing the wood, then you definitely need to sand it. And I'm leaning towards doing something like that. I will definitely have to sand it. This is a 2-piece, I think, yes. No, 3-piece body. Am I right? Am I wrong? Yeah, 3-piece body. 1 piece going right here, then here, and then here. You might not be able to see it, but there's a seam going right there. Which I hope you can maybe, I mean, hopefully you can't see it because that means that it's good enough. It would be better if it was just 1 seam and we had 2 pieces, but it's actually good enough that I don't feel like it's an issue. Sometimes you get these sort of things and the seam is very noticeable and it feels kind of off, and it doesn't go together particularly well, and that's always an issue. But I feel like this is it's okay. It's not the best, I can clearly tell, especially now that I notice them. The issue also is that this seam here is more noticeable, so you can tell that it's off-centered. This one isn't as noticeable, but when you know it's there, you see it. The front is a flamed maple veneer, which is perfectly fine for this. It might also be a cap of maple. It's definitely, if you look at in the body right there, right here, you can definitely tell that there is 2 pieces of wood and that the top is something else. But if it's maple, I can't tell because of the cut being the way it is. But I don't actually think it is maple, because I can see on the side here, I can see it, and it looks a little suspicious. The top is also rough, which is an issue. This is more serious this time than it is with the mahogany, because the top is rough, but it's super thin. So I'm gonna have to see if I can maybe sand it with like 400 grit, and hopefully I won't go through. The flame is actually pretty nice. For being such a thin piece of wood, I do feel like there is some movement in it. No, it doesn't have that extreme depth, so we won't be able to do the sort of stain and then sand back the stain and then put on another type of stain and create that 3D effect, that deep 3D effect. That's not something we can do on something this thin. Had it been just maybe, yeah, had it been like a mil thick, we could have done that, because we could have sanded it back enough. But on this, this is definitely not a mil. This is 1/3 of a mil, or even less, maybe 1/4 of a mil thick. The body is supposed to be mahogany, and it looks like mahogany. And the problem with the way mahogany is nowadays is that it's lighter than what I feel like it's supposed to. So it feels a little bit too light, but yeah, it most likely is mahogany. Oh yeah, I can see the top through the cavity there. Let me just move it about. If you look in the hole, you can see the grain patterns, and that is not maple. So this is not a flamed maple top. I mean, obviously it's a flamed maple top veneer, but the cap is something else, which I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it might be basswood actually, because I recognize those sort of strains in the wood from that. You can sometimes hear the sound. I don't know if you can hear it, but you can drag your nail across wood and you can sort of get a sense for the feeling of it. I'm not going to bother with the the maple cap or whatever you want to call it, and the veneer, because I think that's probably fine the way it is. One thing I want to check before I go any further is the binding. It is okay. I have a couple of gaps here and there that I'm probably gonna have to like try and fill. Yeah, along the side as well. Up here, for example, right there, you can see what I mean. That's the worst place, but it's also gonna get covered up. So right there, it looks a little bit wonky, but it's not really gonna be an issue for us because again, it's gonna get covered. And along the side of the body, I feel like on the side, it's a lot better. I don't see any major hang-ups. Okay, so here I have if I can get this off, a moisturize moist meter thing, and I can stick this in to anything. I'm gonna stick it in here somewhere, and I'm gonna see what sort of reading I can get. 5%, which I don't think is completely accurate, but usually when I get a reading like that, and if you get a moisturizer meter, you read the information you get on how to use it. I don't know words any longer, so that you know how to use it. I usually measure somewhere in the neck pocket or in a pickup cavity in a kit. I don't want to stick it into. You can do it in there as well, actually, and let's do that and see if we get a better reading, because 5% sounds too good to be true. Let's see. Yeah, 5% there as well. This is most likely somewhere around 5% moisturizer in this, which is something that I didn't think, but since I got 2 different readings in 2 different places, it's and I know this is pretty accurate, so I'm gonna say that it's probably somewhere around 7 or something, just because I doubt that it's gonna be that good, but you never know, you know? Okay, if your body is really high, I don't think it's good necessarily, like, obviously depends on what you're getting and where you live, but if you get a body and you measure it and you notice that, like, hey, the moisture content is somewhere around 30 maybe, I would say don't be in a hurry to build this guitar kit. Maybe just, you know, stick it in somewhere, you know, like put it under your sofa, for example, or something, you know, put it on top of this. Don't put it back in it, but put it on top of it, and then just leave it like under your sofa or under your bed or somewhere where, you know, it's tucked away, so you won't accidentally like bump into it and like stub your toe or something. But also don't put it in like a weird place where air doesn't ventilate. So put it in like your living room somewhere or something, and then just wait maybe a week or 2, and then check it again. And if it's, you know, if you don't have any weird finish on it, it should really be about a week or maybe 2 to get it down, and just see what happens. Take something like a ruler, which I should probably do anyway, and just something that you know is straight, and then just take the body and hold it up like this and just check it like this, and it should be flat, and this one is actually not flat, which is annoying. It's almost flat, so I'm gonna think about if I need to do something about that. But yeah, if this can lie flat, it's flat. If it wiggles back and forth a little bit, you have a bow in the middle, which I have on this body. You can tell. And if it lies flat, but you can see light shine through in the middle, then it's like concaved instead. And just check that, because sometimes you dry wood and it moves, and sometimes you dry wood and it doesn't move. And what perfect world is, you can dry wood and it doesn't move. That's why, for example, if you have cut down a tree that you want to build into a guitar, you'll measure it and it'll be like 80% water or something crazy like that when you do a measurement. If you bring that wood inside immediately to your workshop, it will basically explode. You'll notice cracks immediately, it's like a explosion in slow motion. You have to slowly bring it up to that. But if you have a guitar kit, most likely it's been stored, it's been dried somewhat. So I doubt that any of you will find a guitar kit that is like 30% or something like that, because it's kind of crazy. I just noticed when because I just moved my hand in the pocket here, and it's very wobbly. I didn't notice that. Yeah, so we're not gonna get a perfect match with the neck, which is, you know, we're gonna take a look at the neck now. And we're gonna do similar things to the neck. First off, one thing you might want to do immediately is feel the ends of the frets. I have a lot of sprout, so this needs to be taken care of, preferably before I glue in the neck, just because it will be easier to just knock those back down. The binding is good. It's better on the neck. It's a little floppy right up here, but other than that, it looks nice. So if you look, I'm going to try to show you. If you look right, let's see, like here, you can see that the line is sort of undefined where my finger is. I think I can fix that by just scraping it back a little bit. And if you feel like I'm not showing you any real good close-ups, eventually I'm going to build this into a guitar and you'll get to see all of it. The neck is very, very rough. It definitely needs sanding. It's a little bit uneven as well. I can feel with my thumb that it slopes down here a little bit, so it's like fatter here and thinner there. So I'm gonna have to take some off, just because it's nicer that way. Also, if you look at the end, it almost looks like it's been sort of smashed. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look at the end of the binding, it looks kind of a little smashed. So I'm gonna have to see if I can fix that. I might not be able to, but I might be able to. Just all in all, the neck looks pretty nice. It's been a while since I took a Les Paul apart or I looked in it. The frets are a little, they feel like they're a little bit lifted, you know, so I might have to knock them back down. But they might also be, yeah, I'm gonna have to take a closer look at that. Let's see what sort of measurement we get. I'll poke it in here and we'll see. 5% as well. I'm starting to wonder if my machine is acting up on me because it feels like it's too good to be true. But that's pretty nice, actually. I hope that's good. You can also hold the neck like this and just sort of look down the frets. And as you move that neck back like this from your eye, they should all be parallel. And if they're not, if they look odd when you look at it like this, which this looks perfect. But if they look odd like this, you can have a twist in the neck. So you can go from side to side like this and just look back and forth. And you can also make them all be, it's kind of hard to, but if you look at down the neck like this, you get all the lines to be parallel to each other and closer to each other. So that's a way you can see if they are, if the neck is straight or if it's twisting, because the frets will want to start doing this. It has a veneer of flame maple on the headstock as well, so most likely we won't do a Gibson, you know, blacked out with the logo thing, or we'll do something else. But we have room to make a headstock. As you see, it doesn't look this doesn't look good. We need a better shape, so we'll have to come up with something. I don't know what, but maybe you guys have some fun, interesting things. I could also just do the open book Gibson thing. That could be fun. The nut needs to go, and for two reasons. First of all, it's cheap, nasty plastic, or plastic. But also, it's a right-handed nut, which I just noticed. And so yeah, I'm just gonna remove it and put in a new one. Let's put this one back in here. No, almost forgot the most important part. So, yeah, I need to put this body over here and this neck into it. The neck has these two little things glued onto it. which I don't actually know why it has, but I imagine that it's because the neck doesn't fit, and so they glue those on to make it a tighter fit. I might have to replace them because that doesn't look good. Okay, so first off, this is super wobbly. Yeah. That's not really in there. That's not a tight fit. And even with these two little things there, if I press this side of the neck up against the body, I still have like at least a mil, maybe 2 mil of space on that side that I need to fill. So I'm gonna have to, when I go to make this, I'm gonna have to take those two plugs that I don't even understand why they're there. I'm gonna have to take those off and replace them with a long piece of wood that actually goes all across that area and make sure that one fits. I might have to put a shim on the other side as well, or just fill up this cavity here a little bit, which is probably what I'm actually gonna do. It depends on how the neck wants to align. And also, I'm gonna see if I can show you, as I said that the cutaway here was a little bit wobbly, you can probably tell that it's not particularly a nice fit. If you look just where the neck ends and in the cavity, you can sort of see that the neck doesn't go all the way in, because they basically created a little hole there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to tighten up that neck pocket. Might have to just glue a tiny veneer, 1 mil on each side, and then replace this thing here with a real piece of wood so that it looks a little bit better. But yeah, it's not good. Actually, I'm not going to put that neck back because I also want to put some oil on that neck, like straight away. But yeah, it's just the fretboard looks a little bit dry, so I think I want to put some oil on it. But all in all, this kit I feel like this is a good kit. I have not really decided what to do with it yet because, yeah, I just got it and I thought, since I don't know what to do, I might as well do this video, sort of unboxing with you guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. I love building guitars, as you know, if you've been subscribed for a while. So this is going to be fun. I don't really have an idea for what I want to do with this kit. I have one idea, and that is to try to make it a really nice classic sort of Les Paul. Maybe a Sunburst, I'm not sure. And do a nitrocellulose finish on it and then do a relic on it. And the reason why is because I did a guitar like that a long time ago now for a guy, and I mean it was a right-handed guitar, so I couldn't keep it anyway, even if I wanted to, but I kind of wish that I had kept that guitar because it would have been, it turned out great. And I did this light, sort of almost no relic at all, but it looked really nice, and I kind of just, kind of wish it was my guitar, And so I'm thinking, now that I have this kit and I don't know what to do, that maybe I should just make my own version of that and see what happens, see if it turns out good, and sort of it's a fun little thing, And maybe that will be cool. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe you want me to finally build a guitar that looks nice and looks like it's a new, highly polished guitar. I don't know. I've done that before and it's not particularly fun. But yeah, maybe I should pull the frets and make this a fretless guitar. Maybe I should cut the headstock off and make it a headless guitar. I don't know. I don't think we're going to go overboard with it because I feel like I might as well not buy a kit guitar if I want to, make it into something that is not even close to being a Les Paul. Then I could just build a guitar from scratch that has all the wonky weird things that I want. But yeah, if you have any cool ideas for like paint jobs, let me know, because I'm thinking maybe green burst could be cool as well. I feel like sometimes I see Les Pauls with a green burst and I go, and like there are stains for mahogany that makes it just like the dark mahogany color, and that is super nice. I really like that color, so I think maybe that as well could be real cool. Let's put some oil on this fretboard. But that's the end of this video, and I've ranted on long enough. Hopefully you guys thought this was fun, a little, you know, sort of behind the thing that if I hadn't hurt my hand I wouldn't have filmed. Like the video if you liked it, and leave me a nice comment below telling me about your favorite cheese and favorite Les Paul color. And if you're not subscribed, press subscribe, because you don't want to miss all the weird, crazy, wacky things that are coming in the future. Maybe. Or maybe you do want to miss it. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Until next time, don't forget to stay awesome and cool, and go and get yourself some sort of kit guitar. Because even if you don't think you can build one, you can build one, and it's gonna be fun. You know? So challenge yourself to make 2025 the year you finally build a kit guitar. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye! Yeah. Oh yeah, that's some good oil right there.